Well, good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, December 10th. Let me hope I got that date right. Yes, Thursday, December 10th. In the COVID world, you always have to do that date check. You are watching the On the Go Post Show with your Go Morning Show team. I'm Danielle Wiggins with Maureen Kyle, Austin Love, and Holly Strano, Jasmine, and Dave couldn't join us today. Dave is actually off today. But we start with some big news as the COVID-19 vaccine gets closer and closer to a mass distribution in the US. But we also want to know, with coronavirus and the holidays, Hanukkah starts tonight, and then we have Christmas coming up in 2 weeks. Do you have any COVID-19 related wish lists or gifts on your wish list this year? So let us know, put it in the comment section so that we can talk about that, because we'll get to that in just a second. But we start with today, this morning, that panel is expected to really look over that Pfizer vaccine. And Austin, you were on that story this morning. So what's expected this morning?
Yeah, hey, good morning to you, Danielle. And this is just a really pivotal day for Pfizer. It's a pivotal day for the vaccine, and the FDA will meet with a roundtable today with all of these different experts just to make sure they're going to really scrutinize the company's data and any red flags with this vaccine. Of course, it's going to millions of people and being injected their bodies. So they're just trying to make sure that this is safe and that they're willing to go forward with everything that this is, just safe for people to be taking. So that is going to be taking place today. And really, this FDA panel functions like a science court. They'll pick apart the data and debate, and it's actually going to be live streamed, so you can tune into that. So that's what's going on today. So we're going to be seeing if this is going to be approved or not for the emergency authorization to be approved. And if it is approved, we'll kind of go through that process as well. Then it's going to be started being distributed to tens of millions of people. And those details, exactly the distribution process, is still being ironed out. I mean, this is uncharted territory that we're currently going through, and a massive overhaul. So details exactly on that are still being worked out. But one thing that local hospitals and hospitals all over the country and necessarily the world are kind of dealing with, we talked to UH yesterday, and they said that they don't know, they have all these different contingency plans because they don't know what vaccine they're going to get. They don't know how much of the vaccine they're going to get, and they don't necessarily know when they're going to get that vaccine. So they have all these different contingency plans in place right now, as well as the Cleveland Clinic and other local hospitals to just to try to, make this work as efficiently as possible. So anyone that needs a vaccine, anyone that wants a vaccine can get that vaccine. And then we're also trying to figure out how we can do this as safe as possible. So probably your next question is, where can I get it? So health officials are saying that it could go through your job, pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens, also local hospital systems, or also mass gatherings, kind of how the drive-through system works for when you're getting tested. They are talking about that with getting a COVID vaccine. Obviously, there are health-related issues to that which they're being cautious about as well. So really a lot to consider right now, and making sure that they're doing this efficiently, making sure that they're doing this as safely, and also trying to be timely as well. Although that at this point that's important, but also want to make sure that the right steps are being taken.
Well, I want to take the time to thank you for that, Austin, and also thank everyone for joining in. Shayla Smith, good morning to you. She joins every morning. Yvonne, thank you, Yvonne Newell. She says, I guess no. I think there's a question up there, and she's saying no. Good morning to all of you who decided to join us this morning. We appreciate your time. And Maureen, we are seeing, though, the UK, they rolled out their vaccine, the same Pfizer vaccine, and started to distribute it to the masses as well, as far as their distribution plan. But they did see someone get some, allergic reaction here. What's new with that?
Yeah, there were two healthcare workers in the UK that they were among the first to get the vaccine. These two people out of, we know on the first day they gave out 100 vaccines, and these two typically carry what they call the adrenaline pens, the EpiPens with them. They have a tendency to have severe reactions, allergic reactions, and they did have an allergic reaction to the vaccine. I don't really know how severe. I mean, they haven't really laid out how severe the allergy was. They just said reaction at this point. We know, I mean, it wasn't lethal, but it is causing some concern. I mean, a lot of people are concerned. If you're hearing Dr. Anthony Fauci say, if you do have a tendency to have allergic reactions to medicine or foods, this might be something that could happen to you. So at that point, then you have people, you know, even one of our lovely producers, she brought up, she goes, well, I have allergies, you know, will this affect me? So it is going to cause a little bit of hesitation in people eventually as they do roll out this vaccine. If you are somebody who does tend to have allergic reactions, you might be hesitant to get it. It's something that they're monitoring. The way they're approaching it right now is now they know that this is happening. If they notice a pattern with the type of allergies people suffer from, and if all of those certain type of people get a reaction or have a reaction to the vaccine, then they'll know that this is a tendency for people who are allergic to XYZ. You might have this reaction. It's one of those stumbling blocks. And this is why the FDA takes such a close look at this injection and takes a close look at, you know, is this safe? Should we be doing it? Just because the UK is doing it, that doesn't necessarily mean other countries will adopt it. So, you know, that doesn't mean, I don't think that will hinder the FDA in any way, but that's one of those things that if you are really interested, maybe you are a high school or college student interested in medicine and you can watch the live stream today, that might be something that you pay attention to. I mean, right. It is a fascinating process and one that we probably don't really think about on a daily basis.
They are expected to approve the vaccine because earlier this week, the FDA scientists came out overwhelmingly supporting it, saying they have a positive initial review. So we shall see what happens. And we do know that they really looked and said that the Pfizer looked at their long-term study and that the shot, the doses are 90% effective. So we, again, keeping our eyes on this. And then for those, you know, a lot of people not a lot of people, but those with the allergies and things that may want to look into that. But our hearing and the reports are that those who have received the vaccine, what they report is like fever, fatigue, and pain at the injection site. So those are some of the symptoms really to look out for if you decide to get the coronavirus vaccine. And I tell you, we're going to continue to keep track of this, and thank you all for joining in. I see Gigi Faye, thanks for joining in. And again, let us know your thoughts. Are you going to be watching this FDA approval panel? Because again, we can, if they approve it, then we can start seeing people get injections as early as this weekend. And Dr. Fauci said that, boy, we need about 80% of Americans to get that vaccination in order for us to return to some sort of normality by the end of 2021. So we shall see. But we're now at the end of 2020, moving into the holiday season. And, you know, we had a story this morning about people really adjusting to COVID life and being indoors more. And so I want to ask all of you and even ask everyone online, do you have any COVID-19 related items on your wish list this year? Austin, we'll start with you. I know for me, I got an elliptical because I don't want to go to the gym. So I want an elliptical so I can work out at home.
That's a big one,
okay.
Danielle.
Yeah.
I was wondering where that was going. No, not necessarily. No, nothing that I can really think of that I necessarily need. I guess the one thing that on my wish list is that COVID can be over with because I'm really sick of it. That's the number one thing on my wish list.
Yeah, so one of the things is, you know, we saw that the top trends this year, like stocking stuffers, masks are going in the stockings this year. People are really asking for things like CBD products to relax at home, and, you know, bath bombs and things like that. And Maureen, what's on your wish list? Do you have any COVID related items, Maureen and Holly?
You know what's really sad is until you asked me this morning what's on my wish list, I realized I have not come up with a wish list. I've been so concentrated on what I need to get everybody else. But I did, and he already knows this. My husband, Mark, I got him a tennis racket because within this past year, we started doing more activities that kept a really safe distance. Like the person is way more than 6 feet away and you can do it outside. So he got sort of I don't think if coronavirus had never happened, I don't know if he would have really taken up more tennis. I think he's played in the past, but that became something he was doing more regularly. So he already got the tennis racket because he ended up playing the other day. So no, I'm pretty boring. I haven't even made my wish list, but now I know to put, masks and CBD oil on there.
Holly will end with you.
Well, I mean, and I don't mean to get all sappy, but I'm going to go for just health and family, and it's my mom's birthday was yesterday. So the kids and I went to my parents' house and we've been being super careful so we can continue to do things like that. And I got her a gift, but it was sweet because when we were there, Grady he loves to draw. So, Grandma, can I draw you a picture? So he goes and he's doing his little sketch and whatever. And before we left, he gave it to her and he put the date, and my mom was sobbing. His little picture, was more than anything. And I think it's just those little things that you appreciate.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not so much about, I know that, we're all getting Amazon and shipments and things like that. But I do feel like the best gifts of all are just the things that surround us so closely.
And hopefully next year, the best gift will be able to rejoin our families.
Our entire family. Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Well, Gigi says she wants a massage chair and Austin, an end to COVID-19. And
I wouldn't mind some kind of thing
gift that keeps on giving.
I haven't polished my nails in months.
Oh boy. I think we all are tired of this. So speaking of the end of COVID-19, we are now at the end of the On the Go Post Show. You can still comment. Thank you for joining us this morning. We'll be back tomorrow at 4:30 a.m. and back here on the On the Go Post Show on Facebook and YouTube.